Hey kids, green vegan grandma here, one of many, hopefully. I think there are a few of us. I don't have any grandchildren or children, but I'm old, so I figure I can be as concerned about the next generations as those people who actually have a bloodline to them. And here we are at the end of the world, or certainly a big transition time. And I've been doing self-isolation ever since spring break started in our school district, which the timing was perfect. Strangely, we got out on Friday, and by Sunday, it was like everybody stay home. So luckily, I feel really blessed that I was able to get some groceries in, and I've made a big batch of borscht soup and put some in the freezer. And I've got a bunch of quinoa, and it's a good protein source, and lots of veggies, some frozen veggies, and I'm staying in. I was in the schools. I don't know if I'm carrying anything. Apparently, it can be in the body for 14 days, so I'm just staying home. And then, luckily, it's spring where I live, and so I can go for walks and ride my bike and find a little piece of nature. And what I hear nature saying is, oh my God, this is fantastic. Like, I think Mother Nature is very excited to have a little break. There's less cars on the road, there's less industrial pollution happening, there's less fishing, and maybe there's less animal slaughter. I get the feeling that Mother Nature is taking a little break and quite enjoying just having a moment to breathe as the humans figure out, what are we doing wrong? Clearly, we're doing something wrong, Dr. Barnard has a fantastic 11-minute video outlining the history of influenza. It's all connected to animal agriculture and specifically chickens, although, we have experienced the swine flu and mad cow disease, but more and more the evidence is showing that if we want to live here, we have to stop being cruel to the animals, we have to stop being cruel to other humans. We have to, and certainly in this time, we're all experiencing compassion, are we not, for everybody? I mean, it's okay to bomb the shit out of countries, I guess, but once a virus hits, then suddenly we all care about them. Anyways, I won't go on about my concern about the human condition, just except to say that this is an opportunity for awakening, perhaps, if we embrace this opportunity that's being forced upon us. So I really, with this video, wanted to call it things to do when there's nothing to do. So, the first few days, I was like, Netflix, woohoo, I have time to catch up and binge and, watch some favorite movies and that sort of thing. And then I found myself not able to focus as the news started to come in. It was like, okay, no, I maybe need to be doing something different because I'm not paying attention to what I'm watching. So, and it seemed strange to just be lazing about while the world was in a bit of a frenzy, even though, I'm doing my part by staying home. So that's the first thing I want to say is congratulate yourself. You are doing absolutely the right thing. If you're staying home and not going to the gym and avoiding other people, it's hard. But when you consider how long your life is or how long you want your life to be, we're talking about a month maybe if we do this right. China now has cleared of the virus. They've had lots of help from the Cubans who brought their medicine immediately, pretty much. Cubans are amazing medical geniuses. It's just a shame that the world doesn't understand that Dr. Che Guevara and Fidel Castro, that was the purpose of the revolution, was to free the people from oppression and provide for everybody. That's what they wanted to do. And Cubans have been punished by the US embargo for that effort for my whole lifetime, 58 plus years. So anyways, another tangent, but so I just congratulations if you're staying home, right? If once we get over this, if we do, you'll be able to say, I did not spread this virus to anybody. I'm quite sure of that. Like, I'm home, I'm not, so we have access to internet. We can Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and email and YouTube. And I mean, imagine if we had a virus that isolated us and we didn't have electricity and running water, like so many people in the world, so many people who are victims of US and colonialist imperialism, propped up by governments like the Canadian government or other governments. We have created this crisis for these people that is already horrendous. And now, okay. So congratulations, you're home. You're not infecting anybody. So secondly, I believe it's important to experience your feelings. Feel whatever you're feeling. I've started writing about the 7 stages of viral attack, whatever it is. Oh, by the way, it's an opportunity to let your hair grease out. I think it's nice for your natural oils to kind of, we're always cleansing and we have to go to work and look appropriate and all that. But I think it's really good for your hair and your body just to be able to grease out for a bit, right? All that soap is not necessarily the best thing all the time. Of course, if you're out, you come in, then you do all that. But I live alone, so it's just me and my germs anyways. And so I'm allowing myself to feel what I'm feeling. First was the denial, right? It's not that bad. Lots of people die from the flu. People are getting killed in car accidents. What's this? It's just something that they want us to be afraid of. But then the reality kind of hit, and apparently, it's true. More people die of the flu every year. But the thing with this thing is that it's brand new. None of us have an immunity to it yet, except the people now who have survived it. Many tens of thousands of people have survived it. And so then the reality starts to hit, right? Fear, big one. Panic. Oh my God, what is this about? What is going to be next? What am I going to do when I run out of shampoo or, whatever, the whole toilet paper thing. My God, I live alone. I took an old t-shirt, I ripped it up. It's a specific color. I use it only for that purpose. And I just wash these little cloths, every day, every other day. And then I have my toilet paper for only the necessary things. So it's an opportunity to become creative, right? And all right, so first of all, we've congratulated ourselves. We're feeling whatever we're feeling, not delving into it, but just acknowledging this is what I'm feeling right now. And I have good reason to feel the fear. I have good reason to feel the anger. You can bet the vegans are angry. All of these diseases are connected to animal agriculture, and we have been ridiculed a lot. It's hard to be vegan. We're shut down. We're poo-pooed, Oh, there she goes again with her vegan stuff. Sorry, I just wanted to talk about my lunch. Or whatever. I don't get that so much because I've just learned to shut down. And then I feel guilty. Well, here we are. If I had maybe spoken out more, maybe, but it's a very delicate balance being a vegan. And so here we are. The vegans are pissed off. If it weren't for people insisting on paying money to promote the death and murder and torture of innocent, beautiful creatures, we would not be here. This is what some scientists are now realizing. I think more of that will come out. So just know that the vegans are a little bit angry, but hopefully we can just help people understand that, and then let's get on with being vegan in this world. Okay. Hit the yoga mat when you're feeling crappy. That's what I do. Go to yoga. Just sit. And whatever your favorite poses are, just hold on to them for longer periods of time. Lay on your back with your feet up on a chair. If you don't know any other yoga poses, put something under your head so that your chin is tilted this way, not this way, because that will hurt your neck. And that's the other thing. Don't injure yourself right now, right? Like I'm thinking, oh, if, I got a little tweak in my back and I can't go for my massage. And so I don't want to like break my glasses because I'll be blind for a month or two. So find some people that inspire you on your yoga mat. I like this guy, Dr. Tolle, or he's not a doctor, Eckhart Tolle. He's brilliant. And his whole thing is, it's not about dismissing the past or the future. It's not about mamby-pamby, just sort of wandering through life. Oh, I'm in the moment. It's not that. It's that whatever you're doing in the moment, you're doing it mindfully. So when my mind starts to wander to what might be, I just go, you know what? That is not happening right now. What's happening right now is this, and I need to just focus on whatever I'm doing now with all of my intention, because I can't control that unless I'm just here now. And eventually I will move through time with this moment and get to that moment, and then I'll be there in that moment. So I really find him great, and he's on YouTube. Another guy is Rupert Spira, and he talks a lot about non-duality, and really our true nature is just conscious awareness. That's what we are, conscious awareness. And I can't explain it, but he's quite amazing, and I find that's my mantra most of the time anyways, and especially now, like all I can do is be aware. And it goes hand in hand with the idea of being aware now, right? And then there's a woman, Tara Brach, and she offers some really nice meditations just on, as you're feeling the emotions, like how to nurture yourself while you're there. Sorry, it is a very challenging time, is it not? So yeah, anyways, I'll post links to those people. I like Tara because she's vegan as well. I think she's kind of a new vegan, but she does speak occasionally about extending our compassion to all animals. That's really what's the point of, trying to be spiritually mindful only toward and compassionate only towards humans if, then we sit down and put a bunch of death and violence into our bodies. So she's not preachy, but I respect that she's there, and I'm guessing these other guys are, because it would be hard to be mindful and aware and not acknowledge that suffering is bad and that you don't want to be part of it. Okay, so the next thing I suggest is you get kind of restless, especially if you live in a small space, right? And I go out occasionally for a walk. I try to go once a day, or a bike ride, but I don't want to occupy too much time out there. I feel like we kind of can work in shifts on that, right? Like if I'm out for 2 hours and then the next person is out for 2 hours, and then we're not all out there all day kind of thing. So there's lots of things to do inside, lots of things. I live in an apartment. I'll tell you what, I cleaned my bedroom the other day, and I've started on the kitchen drawers. And this takes a long time, like a deep spring cleaning, right? Or fall cleaning, or depending where you live in the world. Just select a corner, right? Like just a corner, just here, just this plant. I can dust this plant. I can move this plant, not hurting my back. And vacuum in and around beside, like dust the container of the plant. I can dust all my photos. I can wash the walls. I can vacuum. And that would take, that would be a good project. And then move on to the next section, right? Pull all the books off on my bookshelf. Wipe down the bookshelf and the books. And, again, vacuuming in there. And like, And while I'm doing that, maybe, making a pile of stuff that I really am not going to use this stuff anymore. I love downsizing. It feels so nice to be as minimalist as possible, especially that's one, actually, it's kind of funny. One of the first things that occurred to me is if I die, which, I'm fairly prepared for that emotionally, psychologically. My concern is with my stuff. Like, somebody's going to come in here and go through it all and have to deal with it. I don't want a lot of stuff around for them to have to, that's a hassle, right? So I like to downsize while I'm spring cleaning and just make a pile of stuff, and then I leave it there. And if over the course of however long it takes, I find that, oh man, I really need that thing that I put in that pile. Well, it's still there, and then I can get it out of there. And if the pile, whatever's left in the pile after a month or so, then that can go in the free box out on the curb or wherever you put your stuff. So I do like to do that. And the great thing about cleaning is you can immediately see and feel a difference. I mean, the room feels a little bit lighter and brighter, and it's a rewarding experience. I can feel like I've accomplished something. It's a wonderful thing. And then, and while you're doing that, you can put on some YouTubes. Like, this is a really good time to learn about U.S. imperialism around the world, how sanctions on places like Iran and Venezuela and Cuba have basically crippled the population. They hurt people like you and me. I mean, those people are basically dealing with what we're dealing with now, shortages of food and medicine because of a U.S. imposed embargo. That's just a political game that they're playing. Their intention is to make the population hungry and angry and try to get them to go after their own governments. I really don't see the logic. So the embargo in Venezuela, for example, has motivated the government to become more involved in socialism to help the people. If they're trying to shut down socialism, creating a crisis in a country, really, I think we can see that it just brings us together because we want to help each other. It's part of our nature, I think. Thankfully, now if we could just extend it to the animals, that'd be great. So while you're cleaning, you go or listen to music, right? And then dance, shut the curtains, take your clothes off, and just dance. Get the energy moving. It's hard when we're not able to be as mobile as we usually are. So it's okay to cry and feel all the emotions and move all that stuff through your body. I think it's really important. So okay, I've done the spring cleaning, I've done some yoga, done some dancing and movement, I went for a walk. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of something, a movie or something, and then, you know what? Shut it all off. Shut off all the electrical appliances and just take a break, and think about all the people, millions of people living in refugee camps. And the people, I can't go down this road. All the people on the streets and all the people in the prisons, and what do I have to complain about, So I'm home, I'm losing money, I'm not going to have a job to go to because the schools are closed. I gotta try to figure out something online. I mean, eventually, maybe we'll come out of this. Maybe we'll come out of this even better. The spiritual teachers that I listen to, they all say that we never grow. We never grow when everything's going well, because everything's going well. There's no need for personal growth and evolution. The only time we grow is when we have to confront something. And we're confronting something. So let's grow, let's grow. Let's get off the animal cruelty and quit destroying other nations for whatever friggin' reason they tell us. And if you're feeling like you want to really wake up to that, watch documentaries like What the Health and Cowspiracy and Game Changers. On YouTube, those things are on Netflix. On YouTube, there's one called Dominion, and there's another called Land of Hope and Glory, and there's one called Lucent. Go to the Mercy for Animals YouTube channel and see what they're doing to help farmers transition away from these horrible things that farmers don't really want to be doing. No farmer, I mean, I don't know about no farmer, but they have interviews with farmers who are like, yeah, they break down and cry. I didn't want to take the calves away from their mothers, and I didn't want to, kill all these chickens. And now they're doing things like growing mushrooms in their old barns, en masse. And we're learning that mushrooms have anti-cancer properties, and they're growing hemp in their old barns. And so we got to do this transition, and this is our chance. So we can refuse to participate in the extinction solution, which is continued business as usual, I believe, is the extinction solution. We can get into the Extinction Rebellion, and specifically the animal rebellion piece of that. It's not enough to be vegetarian. I'm sorry. Like, I've had it up to here with the frickin' vegetarians, I know. I was there. I was one. I resisted the vegan. A little bit's not going to hurt ya. Well, a little bit is frickin' going to hurt ya. A little bit of murder and a little bit of death and a little bit of torture and a little bit of virus that emerges from the little bits of whatever it is that you insist you need is hurting. And it needs, the vegan is a solution, and I don't care if you don't believe that. Nobody's listening to me anyways. So, but I'll pretend you are. Thanks for listening and, doing what you're doing to just stay home and keep yourself safe and sane, and rewire the brain a little bit and quiet the brain every day is, I find, really important. And I'm going to post some videos and stuff that I found that are really inspiring. What the Cubans are doing is unbelievable. And if only the media would cover that. And now the Chinese are partnering with the Cubans to bring the antiviral medicines around the world. And of course, we're all supposed to hate the Cubans or the Chinese for creating this or whatever. But do we really know that? It comes from animal agriculture every time. And if we get over this and we continue to want to eat animals, then we're going to be doing this again. And who knows how every time the virus gets stronger. I mean, can you blame it? If really, smoke a big fat one and think about or don't. Either way, think about, you come to this planet from an alien place, and you look and you see the dominant, most intelligent creature, the creature with the most evolved brain, has done these fantastic things. Except it insists on doing this piece of cruelty, and not just occasionally, but every single day. 3 times a day, if not more. It insists that because of some necessity to satisfy a momentary taste request, it inflicts this unprecedented, unimaginable, horrific torture that is not only destroying the earth, herself it's creating extinction of other species. It's creating a virus that's threatening its own existence. Imagine the insanity of that. If you step outside it, you can see that. And the only way to step outside that is to be vegan. If you're not vegan, you're not outside it. You're still inside it. You're still justifying it in some way. Just step outside it just for a week, for the time of your isolation. Now's a great time. There's tons of cooking videos. There's so much. We have access to so much information. Buy a whole bunch of beans and rice, although rice contains arsenic just because of the way the pollution system works. So potatoes, or beans, right? I'm going to publish some of my favorite vegan doctors. There's thousands of vegan doctors around the world now. Lentils and any kind of beans are the best source of protein, and their anti-cancer properties. Green leafy vegetables, it's so easy to make yummy food. You need spices and beans and then some fruits, and it's a whole other video series, and other people are doing it. So just go find them, for heaven's sakes, for Earth's sakes, for all of our sakes, please. And if you don't, whatever, I'm out of here anyways at some point. And there is a vegan planet somewhere out there, I'm positive, in this vast, enormous, endless universe. And I'm going to bring my resume, and then they're going to say, "You're from Earth. Oh my God, we don't want you." And I'll say, no, I'm a vegan. A non-violent, peace-loving activist for change vegan. And here's my resume. Please consider me. And maybe they'll let me in. So good luck to you, whatever you're doing. We can change. We can do it. And I believe that. And we have to do it. We have to do it. And so thank you for staying home. And I never know how to end things, right? So I'm just kind of ironic in these end times. Are these the end times? What are you going to tell your kids? This is such a time. Journal, write down what you're feeling and keep a journal. Imagine next year if we get through this, and hopefully there won't be another viral situation next year, and we can look back on this and we'll all have stories. We're all going to have stories of how we got through this, right? There's already people posting some really cool stuff about what they're doing. All right, so blessings to you, and don't forget to count your blessings. Wherever you are, you have life. You're alive if you're watching this. You're alive, and you're conscious, and you're aware, and that's a great thing.